The infamous lisp question. I did have a lisp when I first had it cut. Up until about a month into it, I had to relearn holding my tongue tips together so my s would roll off the tip of it and not really separate and go I didn't talk the first week. I did write back and forth on a marker board with my husband. Didn't really start having conversation and speech till day 6 and day 7. Gradually progressed a few days further into it. I really started to notice the movements as I was pronouncing words. I would look in the mirror as I was sitting in the passenger seat. I would start pronouncing words and seeing how my tongue was articulating those words. Snake. Snake, snake, snake. It was a lot of self-administered speech therapy. You're gonna end up with a lisp. You gotta learn to muscle away, essentially. You're not used to holding your tongue as two different tongues now, and they were attached in the center where your S's slid off at that nice little tip. Now you have two tips, and now we have a lisp. Lisp, lisp. My S's almost always still have a slight whistle. Snake, snake, snake. I was also bartending at the time, so I was able to unlearn that. 3 years later, I don't have a lisp now. I didn't have a lisp after a month. It's pretty dependent on how well you work or stretch your tongues, that motor skill, that ability to articulate sound is going to be up to the individual and their chosen routine, and they want to achieve it or how far they want to go with that goal. Learn. That's one of the most exciting parts of this, is the ability to just learn myself, have active mind-body connection, watch it happening almost from this bird's eye perspective, and it kind of gives me a better insight on how to manage myself and deal with myself. Hopefully that answered your question, but I'm not going to say I don't stumble over my tongue sometimes. Let me put that in there. Sometimes I do stumble over my tongues. Somebody else with a split tongue tell me, do you stumble over your tongue sometimes? It's not really a common occurrence, but sometimes I feel like they're just everywhere when I'm trying to say something, probably too quickly. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. Tap that subscribe and like button. I would greatly appreciate that. And stay tuned for more answers.